What's up, everybody? Lethal One up here, and guys, I was gonna say welcome to a Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart review, but it's really not a review. I'm not super critical. I'm not even that knowledgeable to even give that kind of insight. I just want to talk about my experience and what I really liked about the game, and anything that I had for complaints about. I really don't have honest to God, any actual complaints. I've never experienced any single bugs, any glitches or anything like that. I've never experienced any of that stuff. It was actually a super clean playthrough that I had when I was enjoying the game. Maybe some things I would have loved to have seen. Honestly, I would have loved to have seen more of Rivet's dimension of Skid McMarks. I thought he was so freaking cool. Would have loved to have seen more of him. Maybe even I wanted to see more of the what was the interaction between Quantum and Captain Cork. I thought that would have been really cool to see as well. But besides that, it's honestly just things that I would have loved to have seen, which is actually, it's not really a complaint. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have too much of complaints. I had such a great playthrough and literally experienced no issues whatsoever. I kind of want to start talking about some of just the design for the game, right? How beautiful the planets were. Each and every single one of the maps and the environments I thought were just straight up beautiful. I will say personal favorites for me has to be Nefarious City. I actually really liked Xerxes too. I dug the whole it gave me Guardians of the Galaxy kind of bar vibes, because obviously it takes up the space and whatnot, but I just dug it, and it had the rest of the different aliens and creatures out there that were going to Xerxes. I thought that was so cool. I like that, and then I just really like Nefarious City. I don't know, I love the aesthetic of it. I love the nighttime neon mix, and again, I to be honest, this is why I kind of said I wish I would have seen more of Rivet's dimension of Skipping Marks. I thought he was so cool, and then them just incorporating and teaching you how to use the Phantom Dash, the gloves, right, the new tether stuff. I mean, there's so many things I just loved about that first one of those initial worlds, and I would have to say that was honestly my favorite. I would have to go back to. Again, I'm not super knowledgeable, right? I've never done a video game review, but I want to give my honest thoughts on everything, and I would love for anybody, comment down below your thoughts as well. I want to hear everybody's thoughts on this game, because I thought this game was so good. I mean, I guess we could talk a little about the story here. I enjoy the story. I know for me personally, I will say this, and it's not really much of a complaint, because I kind of feel like the way they did it was really well. The only issue I might have had a little bit, if it was a thing, was the fact that maybe there could have been more of a struggle with, I would say, maybe Rivet finding out that Kit was the warbot that attacked her and everything, and she's the reason why she lost the arm. And I kind of felt like they kind of squeezed that a little bit into the end, and so you were kind of there wasn't much time gap left, right, to kind of explore that struggle of oh man, here I am adventuring a little bit with Kit, getting to know Kit and everything, and she just had the whole thing with adventuring with Clank, and her being solo and whatnot. And I just felt like a little bit when it came to that part of her actually finding out that Kit was that warbot responsible for everything, that there could have been just a little bit more of a struggle. But at the same time, I don't know. I guess it doesn't bother me too much, because I think they did execute it kind of well. At the same time, even Kit was having that issue where she'd rather be alone, right? Because she knows how dangerous she can be as a warbot and everything. And so I guess the way they kind of tied it into the end, right, has Kit still comes in and saves Rivet, and then Rivet kind of just is getting to acceptance of she's trying to be, Kit just wants to do better, be better, and to get past these things and stuff like that. They gotta work through it. It wasn't it kind of ended with them being the besties of besties, but at the same time, it's kind of it's hard to explain it. They're working through it, right? I mean, they saved each other in the end. I guess I still would stand by the fact that maybe a little bit more they could have tossed that a little bit sooner, their realization and finding out about Kit, with Rivet. But honestly, I still enjoyed everything thoroughly. The fact that Clank ended the game without an arm still, I thought was pretty interesting. Please give Clank back his other arm. I thought that was kind of funny. But I'm really excited. I thought the story, again, the ending, a lot of people didn't like that, but I thought the cliffhanger was great because it's leading you into the next game. So honestly, overall, I was pretty pleasantly happy with the story. I thought it was great. Jumping into, I guess I can go ahead and talk about maybe the characters. I mean, my favorite character, honestly, because they introduced new characters, it's kind of obvious, so I kind of want to jump and talk about them. I've obviously played Ratchet and Clank games in the past, so Ratchet and Clank, I could sit there and be oh yeah, my favorites all day. But I will honestly say I really liked Rivet. I thought Rivet was such a cool addition to the Ratchet and Clank franchise, and I would really want to see more of Rivet. I liked her again. I know we just literally spoke about her story, so I love that the story was there, right? The development for the character was there, coming towards the very end, and her wanting to have a partner again and stuff like that, and just working with Kit. So I liked Rivet the most, I would honestly say, and I would love to hear your guys's. If you had a favorite character from this game, let me know down below. Even side characters, I'm gonna stick with it again. Skipping Marks, I thought he was so cool, and even the little the other, I forgot their names, but the little alien racer, not even aliens, but just the other race that Rivet was working with, and her, I think it was back in her home planet. I can't remember what they were, but they were so freaking cool. I thought they were awesome. I would have loved to definitely see a bit more of them too. I mean, in the end, you kind of got a little bit of like an end game kind of moment, right? Everybody came together and helped each other out to take down both Dr. Nefarious and Emperor Nefarious. It was so cool. I guess we could talk about Dr. Nefarious and Emperor Nefarious. I thought it was executed well in terms of both getting enough showtime. I thought it was good because obviously in the beginning of the game, or at least beginning to somewhat the middle, you could kind of argue, or a little bit maybe even more than the middle. You got a good Dr. Nefarious and everything, and then you did wonder, and it did make me wonder, when would Emperor Nefarious came in? And I thought he came in at a great time, and he was end up being more of the bigger baddie than Dr. Nefarious. So I thought that was really cool. I like both of them. They fit the villain vibe perfectly. I thought it was pretty cool. A little bit of a character development for Dr. Nefarious to not really want to work with Emperor Nefarious at the end there, and he was just like, no, you know what? I'm not going to save my dimensional counterpart. Like, screw this, and he takes him out and everything. So I thought that was really cool. I just thought they did that really well. So I was definitely for that. I guess the only other things I kind of want to talk about real quickly, because I wasn't going to make this a really big video or anything, but I definitely talk about a couple some of the gameplay stuff that I liked. Specifically, I love the Phantom Dash. I could sit here and talk to you about days how much I love the Phantom Dash. I'm just a big fan of having a dash mechanic. I don't know, I just like it. It makes traversal fun and it just makes gameplay a lot more intuitive kind of. I don't know. I like the idea of just wanting to dash out of attacks or whatnot, but the Phantom Dash that they have in this game was by far my most favorite aspect that they added to the Ratchet and Clank series. I hope Phantom Dash comes back in some way, shape, or form in the next game, because I do feel like it was kind of used as part of this game because of the whole dimensionals and stuff like that. It has that whole aesthetic to it. So I kind of feel like it fit the theme. So I don't know if it'll come back in the next game, but I do like the idea of them having a dash. I felt like it was just so needed. It felt so good. So that would probably be my favorite thing, I think, gameplay wise, that they did. Besides the fact that they added in a lot of the other types of grapple movements, right? Using I forgot the exact name of it, but there was there was the opportunities where you can use a grapple hook to either just get to the next part of the stages, especially when you were in the planet. I can't think of the name of the planet, but where it was more about the pirates being able to slingshot your way through. I just thought everything was done so cool with that one, and even the one where you're bringing back the bigger robot again. I can't remember specific names. I do apologize, right? This is why I don't do reviews exactly, because I'm terrible with names. But I thought that was really cool in that planet where you're utilizing a lot of the grapple hook to get you through and slingshot you through different parts in the actual map. I thought that was so sick. I would say bringing back the mag boots was really cool. I enjoyed that. Even using Clank in a different way in this game, right? I love the fact that it was kind of more like a little bit of a mini game to solve through the puzzles to get obviously the dimensional Clanks to the other side to open up the next pathway and to deal with those big dimensional rifts. I thought that was so sick, and I actually really, really enjoyed that. But I mean, in terms of new stuff that I thought I liked the most, I think that was pretty much it right there, because I really enjoyed it. Again, I pretty much talked about the planets and whatnot. I thought the planets were great. The use of ray tracing I thought was awesome. Besides that, I mean, the weapons were really cool, right? We should definitely talk about the weapons. I gotta say, I definitely had to use the pixelator again, but I gotta say, one of my favorite weapons was it's a toss-up, because it was at the very end. They gave you what was it called again? Oh no, it was the big Gatling gun one. I already forgot what it was called. But I gotta say, it was between that one. Then there was the default when you starting the game was the blast pistol, but it wasn't that one. That's not the saw blades. There was another weapon in between that I was using quite frequently. In the past games, not the gloves of doom. There was another one. where it summoned Mr. Fungi. Sorry, Mr. Fungi. Wow, Mr. Fungi. I love the Mr. Fungi. You could say weapon, grenade, or whatever you want to call it, the support, the weapon you can get. I really loved using them. I don't know. I just thought they were so cool. There's something a little bit different, right? For in the past, you were using like you were getting I think it was the Zircons and stuff like that, the Zircon Juniors or Minis. I forget the specific name. But no, I would have to say I use that weapon almost all the time. On top of even, I think it was called the Negatron, the big beam weapon. I can't remember exactly what it's called too. See, there you go. See, I can't remember half of these names because they had all types of crazy names. But those are definitely some of my favorite ones. And then I really used a lot of I think I used the saw blades a lot. I did use. I got the Warmonger, but I didn't use it as much. But I would definitely say for new weapons wise, I used Mr. Fungi every single time. It was literally one of my favorite weapons to use. On top of even the electrocution one, the one with the lightning bolts and everything. Can't remember the name of the specific of that weapon, but I use that one a lot as well. But besides that, I think I covered everything that I really wanted to talk about in terms of my time playing this game. Yeah, literally, I think I talked about everything. I enjoyed it. Again, if I had to grade it, honestly, I give it a 9 out of 10. The only reason I say 9 out of 10 is just because of maybe the little bit of that story that I thought, which could have been, I thought, explored just a little bit more when River had found out about Kit and the whole thing about that. It's such a nitpicky thing, though. It's not even a real thing. Honestly, I could be truthful and just give it a 10 out of 10. But I mean, I feel like people, it doesn't matter like even reviewing and giving grades, because I feel like I would sit here and grade almost everything like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, unless it really deserves to be like a 5 out of 10 and something that's really garbage. But truthfully, I think the game deserves to be like a perfect, if I'm being quite honest with you. But if I had to be more like a technical person, maybe like a 9 out of 10. But legit, it's a perfect game to me. I'm so glad that it came out this year. And again, I'm just more excited that it's leading into the possibility of another game. And I think it's definitely going to happen. Ratchet and Clank is super successful, and this game, you know, it was nothing different. It was super successful. But all right, guys, thank you for watching. Please give me your overall thoughts on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart if you played it. I would love to hear what you guys have to think about that game, or your thoughts about that game. Not think. I mean, you can tell me what you think too, but give me your overall thoughts on it. I would love to hear what everybody has to say, because again, I love this game. You will get more of these from me in the future. I did this one without face cam just because I want you to just get the voiceover on top of the gameplay. But in the future ones, maybe I'll bring back the face cam for these. I've never done kind of like a pseudo, game review thing. I've never really done more of like a talking about the game or my experience with the game. So this is the first one. I'm sure I'll do better in the coming ones. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Letha One Up, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.